Srila Prabhupada loved to listen to Vishnujana Swami himself. What do you think about that? Maybe you can give a...
First of all, who says Prabhupada loved to listen to Vishnujana Swami himself? I knew Vishnujana Swami. Vishnujana Swami and I joined the same San Francisco temple. Vishnujana joined a few months before I did. I never noticed Prabhupada loving the way Vishnujana chanted. He honored him for chanting so much, but he didn't, Vishnujana didn't really follow Prabhupada completely. Frankly, if you really want to know the truth, after all these years, I consider that Vishnujana, before he was a Swami and after he became a Swami, was autistic. And what he did was he took his autism, because he had very difficulty talking to people. But when he took his autism and just confined it inside of the Hare Krishna mantra and the Mridanga beat, he would play Mridanga and chant, but it was always inside of his own little universe of his own words. So Prabhupada loving to hear, where did you hear that? Somebody said that. There's people say things like Jayananda. Oh, Jayananda is so fantastic. I knew Jayananda before we were devotees. We took classes together in modern dance in San Francisco State University together. I mean, you're talking about people that I know, that I knew before they were famous also. So it's not the Prabhupada. In fact, Vishnujana was the main force behind Radha Damodar. Prabhupada came to a point of trying to stop Radha Damodar. He wanted to stop it, and Tamal Krishna argued with him on it. Tamal Krishna's project, Radha Damodar, was going to temples, stealing their best devotees, and then going out, causing chaos in all the temples they went to. And Vishnujana was the kirtan leader. He led everything. Under Tamal's, you see, Tamal knew how to control Vishnujana, because Vishnujana was autistic. Tamal was very controlling. So one time Prabhupada said, I want you to stop this Radha Damodar. And Tamal Krishna says, I don't want to. He says that to Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted to stop Radha Damodar with Vishnujana, and Tamal said no. And Prabhupada said, why do you say you do not want to stop Radha Damodar when I request it? And Tamal said, I have more men than you do, Srila Prabhupada. Can you imagine? He really said that. I have more men than you do, Srila Prabhupada. Meaning, you can't make me stop. If you want to get into a battle with me, I'll win because I have more men. The men that obey you and the men that obey me, I have more men obeying me than will obey you. So does that sound like something that will please Srila Prabhupada? That's when Prabhupada exiled Tamal to China. And Tamal said, I don't want to go to China. I won't go. He said, what is my service? He wanted to ask Tamal, Prabhupada, then what is my service other than going to China? Prabhupada looked at Tamal and said, you have no service. Like that. And Tamal was all pissed off, of course. And he went into the next room where Hansajuta was. And he ranted and raved and explained what happened with Prabhupada being so unreasonable and all that. And then he said, and then Prabhupada said, when I said, what is my service? He said, Prabhupada said, you have no service. Hansajuta, from a Germanic, strict, high-end Germanic point of view, looked at Tamal and said, don't you realize that what Prabhupada said? If you have no service, then you're no longer a disciple. You had better go back and fix the situation with Srila Prabhupada, because no service means you are finished as a disciple, which could have happened anywhere, including from the beginning when they refused to follow the direction of management. He could have said, you won't accept direction of management, then you have no service. But he saw that these same, what did Prabhupada call them? They were a sinister movement within our society. He saw these sinister movement as people that were not going to go away, were trained up, were very aggressive, were in charge of practically everybody else. So he used them until he died, was killed by them.
We have 3 minutes to go.
Yeah. So Tamal ended up going to China in exile because Prabhupada told him to, because Hansadutta told him when Prabhupada says no service, he meant no service. That you're finished, you're no longer a disciple. Okay. Any other note? Now, Rupa realized that if there's any other notices,